Hi everyone, good morning and welcome to another webinar with myself, John, and a few of my colleagues here. Just to remind you, today's webinar is focusing on Dynamics 365 supply chain management, and we'll be looking at the latest releases for 10.37. Just before we dive into today's agenda, just a very quick update and a reminder for those of you who are new to this webinar, who M Progression are. So M Progression, we are a dedicated Microsoft D365 specialist partner. We've been helping businesses implement D365 for many years now. And we do specialize in ISV solutions. So we're a solution-orientated partner as well. Okay, and now jumping into today's agenda. So focusing today, we'll be looking at the platform update plans for 2023, what's new and changed, query data, warehouse management, mobile apps, and the demo. And at the end, we'll finish off with a Q&A session. So once again, let's introduce our speakers today. We're very pleased to welcome Peter, who is our business architect, head of ERP department, and also Andrew, who is our tech lead architect as well for D365 ERP. So as you can see there, they've both got a wealth of experience. So listen, we're going to jump straight into it. So first of all, let me start off by introducing Andrew.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, John. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining our today's session. It's only 2 days until the next release of Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management. This update will be the last one in terms of the current update policy, but there are expected one more update this year. The 10.39 update will be released in terms of the new service availability policy. This new policy was introduced last month. So, and starting 2024, there will be significant changes to the release pattern and cadence. At the moment, based on the official documentation, the key points of the new approach are Microsoft will release 4 general available updates in December, March, June, and September. The major updates will be released in March and September. Starting February 19, 2024, the maximum number of consequent phases of the updates will be reduced from 3 to 1. With this approach, customers may have more time to test the new releases. Also, every update may contain more new features and enhancements, and our webinars can have more content from a technical and functional perspective. So, and I hope our events may bring more value to the attendances. So let me go back to the upcoming 10.37 release and briefly overview the changes. We highlighted the improvements that are most promising from our point of view. You can see their brief description on the current slide. So let me provide more details about each point. Automatically update documents when receiving purchase order. It's a special feature, as far as you know, as part of the warehouse management mobile app receiving process. Purchase order line transactions are moved into registered state. Until now, the process would pause here without updating the cost. So to advance the process to the next state, a user needed to manually assign a product receipt number. With this feature, the system can now update purchase order documents automatically after the inventory has been received in the warehouse, thereby removing the manual step. Warehouse mobile device workspace feature lets you monitor the health and license status of all health devices that are used in your warehouses. Also, it helps you confirm that you are in compliance with licensing requirements by showing how many devices you are running and letting you assign a device license status to each device. The next feature, the Work User Session Query Range Utility tool, adds a new functionality for setting up queries to help workers find specific records using the warehouse management mobile app. For example, in the purchase order receiving flow, a purchase order number is required to match arriving inventory. As part of this process, you can easily configure menu items to provide a cart list view of the relevant purchase order numbers. In this way, you can continue the receiving flow by using a quick point to select approach. The overpick materials for production and batch orders feature lets workers who use the warehouse management mobile app overpick rough materials for production orders when they must do it. Overpicking occurs when a worker picks slightly more material than is specified for production order. It can be relevant in situations where it's more efficient for workers to overpick by rounding up to the nearest packing unit, or where it's more efficient to pick the full content of nearly empty locations to free up the space. Material availability check for work orders feature allows supervisors to do a material availability check for work orders. This feature allows to confirm that all the required spare parts are available before workers can maintain work. For this purpose, a work order material availability check page was introduced. On this page, supervisors can run the master plan and then view the material availability status for each of the selected work orders. This page also provides information about material availability of the individual spare parts that are required for the selected work orders. Actually, it was the last feature that I would like to introduce. And that's pretty much all from my side. If you have any questions, please feel free to write them in our chat. Now, I would like to turn the floor over to Peter. So, Peter, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Andrew. Hello, everyone. And despite the fact that release 10.37 is not a major one, it contains many new features that can be useful for you, I think. And as always, we selected one that we find most interested and prepared a live demo. The demonstration will be dedicated to the query range utility tool. And let me start with an overview of the scenario. Okay, so I'm going to begin the demonstration with a review of the settings that need to be done as they represent the greatest complexity and interesting in this new feature, new functionality. I even created a list of them on a separate slide, so we will look at them in a minute. The next step in my demonstration will be to show purchase orders that I have specially prepared for. And yeah, the main goal of using this feature is to significantly simplify the process and reduce risks of errors when searching or entering manually information such as purchase orders or I don't know, items code or anything else manually on your mobile application. And according to my experience, the internal purchase order number is not specified on transportation label usually and need to be entered manually. But even in case when purchase order or any other information were in barcodes and labels, yeah, they can be damaged during delivery or transportation or some warehouse movements. So yeah, there is a lot of cases when barcodes can be moved or damaged. And in conclusion, in my demonstration, we will move on to the warehouse management mobile application and see what capabilities the query range utility tool has added on the example of purchase order receiving. So let's move forward to the list of settings. First of all, we will see which feature is responsible for this functionality. In the latest version, it will be enabled automatically. As the next step, we will require to configure the mobile device menu. To do this, we will create some new menus, configure queries, and select fields that should be displayed on the screen of our mobile application. And also we will take a look at how to add a new menu to the mobile device and how to configure at which steps of our process these menus should appear. So let's move on. And I'm going to switch my screen to D365 application. I think you already can see it. And for the beginning, as I already told, let's go to system administration model and feature management form. Here we have to switch to the All tab. And in the filter field, to find this new feature, I'm going to type multi-level. And here it is, multi-level, the tool for the warehouse management mobile application. This exactly feature responsible for the functionality we will see in a few minutes. As you may see, its feature state is mandatory. That means in this version of the system, it's enabled by default and cannot be turned off. Let's move on and go to warehouse management model, setup, then mobile device menu items. Okay, I have configured in advance 4 additional queries, and they are look up purchase orders for today. This is a query that selects purchase order which are scheduled for delivery today. Look up purchase orders by vendor. This is a query that selects purchase orders from a specific vendor. Look up purchase orders by item. This is a query that selects purchase orders with a specific item in them. And another one for another step of our purchase receiving process would be look up item in purchase order. And this is the query that selects items from a specific purchase order. Let's take a closer look at one of them. Let it be look up purchase orders for today. And I'm going to click Edit Query button here on the top of this form to show you parameters for this query. You can see there are 3 parameters. The first one, it's purchase order status. It has to be open order to show the list of our orders. The next one, confirmed receipt date. As you may see, it has to be today with 0 deviation from today. And the last one, it's warehouse. This inscription means the user's current warehouse. So the query will show only purchase order from the one warehouse, the exactly one our user connect to. So let's back to the form with our queries. And let me show you the field list. It's the button of the top of the form 2. And the list of fields we will see in our mobile application. You can configure up to 8 fields here. And the list of these fields, it's a huge list, but it depends on the table specified in the menu item. I mean this table. So for this query, the specific table, purchase table, and the fields we can configure depends on this table. Moving forward and open the next form, warehouse management again setup, mobile device, and mobile device menu. Here, already select the first one, inbound. And all we need here is to move our menus from the right side, from the menu structure, to the available menu list. I already did it for 2 of my queries. Look up item in purchase order, look up purchase orders for today. Let's do it to another 2. Look up purchase order by item. I just show it, that you may see how it's easy. And look up purchase order by vendor. So only one button. Now all 4 items here on the available menu list. Let's save these changes, these settings, and go to the next configuration menu. It will be again warehouse, setup, mobile device, and mobile device steps. Those are the steps during our warehouse process. Please pay attention. If this form is empty, then you have to start by clicking this button, create default setup, just in case. And here we have to configure 2 steps of our purchase receiving process. The first step is entering the purchase order number. And to find this first step, I'm going to type here in the filter field PO num. So I'm going to work with the line for purchase receiving item, and to drop down, I just click on step ID. Here on the bottom part of this form, in available detours menu items, I've already added 3 of my queries. And the one more thing I have to do here is to select fields to send to this query and to send from this query. To do this, for each query, I have to click this button, select fields to send. And here on the right side, there is a form to configure inbound information, not inbound, sorry, incoming information for this query, and in outcome information out of this query. As you may see, we are no needs in any incoming information, no information to send from purchase receiving process, because it's the first step. It's the step to select purchase order, and we already have parameters to query those purchase order, so it's nothing to paste here. But we definitely have to configure the outcome information, because that's why we need this query, because we would like to choose a purchase order number. So here we put purchase order number as outcome information from our query. Let me close this one. We have to configure the same settings to each query. I will show you. They're absolutely the same. And go back to mobile device steps. And here I'm going to find the next step. So after we found our purchase order, usually our mobile application asks us for the item number. And as I already told, almost always, I think we have item codes or barcodes for our items, but still they can be damaged. So there are cases when we have to type them manually, and using this query, it will be much more useful. So to find the next step, I'm going to type here item. Again, I'll choose the row with the purchase receiving process and drop down again with step ID. So I've added the last query, lookup item in purchase order, at the same part of the form, available detours. And let's take a look on selected fields to send. As you may notice, here we have incoming information too, because we need to know the exactly purchase order to find the list of items from. That means that our purchase receiving process will send a purchase order number from the purchase receiving, and as a result, as the outcome information, it will be, of course, item number here on the bottom tab of this form. So that's it with the configurations. Yeah, they are complex in some level, but when you understand them and when we use them, it will be easier. So as the last thing here, let's go to accounts payable, all purchase orders, and take a quick look on purchase orders. There are some purchase orders, and I am going to open this one just as example to show you. As you may see, it contains several rows. To be precise, there are 4 different rows with different items. That's okay. Let's move to the header. And here you can see confirmed receipt date, and it's today, October 18th. I configured the same way some other purchase order, but we are not going to waste time for look all of them. And now I'm ready to open the mobile application. And this time I will use application for Windows just to save time and avoid switching to my cell phone. It's absolutely the same as the one for Android or iOS. It's absolutely the same. Let me log in. Just a second. So I'm going to choose inbound process and purchase receive. As I already told you, the first step is to enter purchase order number here or scan it if we have such data on our transportation label. And please notice here on the bottom, there are 3 queries, 3 my queries I prepared in advance, and we added to the mobile device menu exactly to this step. So let's use one of them. Let's use the first one, look up purchase orders for today. Here there are 3 orders. As you may see, this one we opened, purchase order with 275 at the end. Some other orders, and some information we can see here, like vendor account, for example, and they all have a status open order because that was one of our parameters in our query. So let's choose one of them. Let it be the same we already watched. And now we have to confirm purchase order we choose, because maybe we type it by misprint or something. So let's confirm it with this button. And as a next step, we have to scan item. Usually it's scanning, or enter here if there are something problems with the barcodes, with the transportation label, and I don't know, any other cases. And here on the same place on the bottom of this menu, we have one more query, look up item in purchase order. Let's imagine that we don't have barcode and use this query. We have to purchase order. As you remember, we configured it as an income information for our query. So let's confirm it. And now we can see 4 items. As you remember, our purchase order contains from 4 items. Those are exactly the items we've seen there in our purchase order. Let's choose one of them. And here it is the same step to confirm item as we already saw with the confirmation purchase order, and all the next steps are absolutely the same we are used to for purchase receiving process. This would be the end of my demonstration. I hope you find it interesting and you can learn something new about this feature. So thanks for your attention. If you have any questions, please ask them in the chat section and I'll be happy to answer.